Master of Ceremonies for this evening is Inform's President, Professor Brian Denton of the University of Michigan.
Okay, thank you very much, and good evening and welcome to the Inform's annual awards ceremony. Tonight we're going to celebrate some of the outstanding accomplishments of our members. We would like to begin by giving special thanks to Caterpillar, who's the sponsor of tonight's event. So please join me in thanking Caterpillar. Okay, we're going to have a lot of fun. There are a lot of reasons I know that you each may be here for. Some of you are here to have your own accomplishments recognized. Some of you are here because you're supporting your friends, your students, your colleagues who are receiving well-deserved recognition tonight. Some of you are even waiting to hear if you'll win the award that you competed for today. So we're going to see some very excited people coming across this stage. Okay. Whatever it is that brought you here, you're about to witness the presentation of some of our field's most prestigious awards. So please join me in a round of applause for everyone that's being honored tonight. I promise you your hands are going to hurt by the end of this. Okay. So in addition to that, it's important that we remember that any organization like ours has a lot that they owe to the strong volunteers who commit their time and expertise to everything that we do. And so tomorrow night at a special awards ceremony at 7:30 p.m. in this room, we're going to recognize those Judith Liebman Award winners who are being honored for their service specifically to Inform's student chapters. I believe we've got them up on the slide there. We're also going to recognize those student chapters that are being honored for their efforts at the university level. And then on Tuesday, at our member meeting and reception, we'll formally recognize 20 members who've given generously to Informs through their service. So the hard volunteer work of our members is critical to the success of Informs and our field, and I'd like to thank all of them for their service. So please join me. Okay, so at this time I want to invite Melissa Moore, our Executive Director of Informs, up to the stage, and Melissa is going to help me with giving out some of these awards. And as we normally do, we're going to begin with the Bonder Scholarships. So as many of you know, Seth Bonder was an extraordinary leader of our field. He was a U.S. Air Force pilot. He later became a professor at University of Michigan, and he was the founder and CEO of Vector Research, a highly successful company recognized for innovation in applying operations research to public and private sector enterprises. Dr. Bonder was the 27th president of the Operations Research Society of America, and he was a vice president of IFORS, the International Federation of Operations Research Societies. He was also a member of the National Academy of Engineering and recipient of a list of awards that are way too many to go through, but I'll mention two of them. One is the Kimball Medal, and the other is the Informs President's Award. And we're going to be awarding that towards the end of tonight's ceremony. So Dr. Bonder established two scholarships to encourage operations research approaches to areas of military applications and health services. And Dr. Bonder's widow, Meryl, who's sitting right over here, has graciously sustained this commitment. So on behalf of Informs, please join me in thanking Meryl and the Seth Bonder Foundation for their continued support of our student members. Okay, well, in an effort to carry on Dr. Bonder's legacy, the Bonder Foundation is dedicated to supporting all of the Bonder Scholars. Eligible Bonder Scholars can apply for a grant to assist with their research or travel expenses to attend and present at an Informs conference. These prestigious scholarships aim to promote the development and the application of process modeling and operations research analysis to the areas of healthcare and military applications. So, let us first recognize the winner of the Bonder Scholarship for Applied Operations Research in Military Applications. And to do that, I'd like to invite Andrew Hall, President of the Military Applications Society, to come up and join me on stage.
Thank you, Brian. First, I want to thank the Bonder Scholarship Committee for their time evaluating the many applications that we received, and they're listed there. We selected one application above all others that best represents the successful application of process modeling and operations research to military issues. And the winner for 2017 is Lee Evans from the University of Louisville. Lieutenant Colonel Lee Evans is an Army Operations Research and Systems Analysis officer who has been serving in the United States Army since graduating from West Point in 2000. During an assignment at the Army Human Resources Command as a manpower analyst, Lee started working on personnel and manpower planning issues. He identified a gap in the inclusion of quality into Army models and has begun work at the University of Louisville applying simulation optimization techniques to incorporate performance appraisal information into manpower models. His work is positioned to significantly improve Army modeling by incorporating elements of quality and talent into the manpower planning models used for force size planning, programming, and budgeting. Congratulations, Lee.
Now we invite Murat Kurt, Chair of the Bonder Scholarship and Health Applications, on stage to announce tonight's winner.
First, I want to thank our whole committee for their work in evaluating the high-quality applications we received. We carefully evaluated each application on the potential of the research program for making a significant contribution to the field, as well as the candidate's preparation to undertake a program of applied operation research in the field of healthcare. The winner for 2017 is Justin Boutelier from University of Toronto. Justin's dissertation focused on combining both machine learning and optimization to improve the quality, access, and delivery of healthcare in a variety of settings. In particular, he focuses on emergency medical response optimization in Dhaka, Bangladesh, optimizing a drone network to deliver automated external defibrillators to cardiac arrest incidents in Toronto, Canada, and optimizing a drone system to deliver trauma kits to motor vehicle accidents in Hyderabad, India. Congratulations, Justin.
Murat Kurt will also present the 2017 Undergraduate Operations Research Prize. Joining him on stage is committee member Allison Chang.
Again, I would like to thank my fellow prize committee members for their tireless efforts in evaluating the many excellent papers submitted to this year's competition. Their names appear on the screen. We will
first announce finalists, then honorable mention, and finally the first place winners. All of these students did impressive work. They promised to lead the next generation of operations research practitioners with remarkable skill and talent. The first finalist is Stephanie Allen from the State University of New York at Geneseo. The second finalist is Chung-Jae Lee, representing the team from Georgia Tech. And the third finalist is Maria Patino from Universidad de los Andes.
The honorable mention goes to Yu Hu from Northwestern University. This year, 2 authors are awarded the first place. Siddharth Reddy from Cornell University, who unfortunately could not be here tonight, and Agathe Sore from École Polytechnique.
Please join me in congratulating the winners and all finalists of the 2017 Undergraduate Operations Research Prize for their remarkable papers.
And now, presenting the 2017 Doing Good with Good OR Student Competition Award is committee member Chase Rainwater.
The Doing Good with Good OR Student Paper Competition identifies and honors outstanding student projects that have or are likely to have a significant societal impact on individuals, communities, and organizations that go beyond that of private and for-profit initiatives. To be considered for this award, the use of operations research methods and tools must be central to the success of these projects. Additionally, these papers are assessed by their innovative contributions to theory, computational methods, and the strategies used to ensure their implementation. I would like to thank the committee members for all their help and time, especially co-chairs Turgay Ayer and Jonathan Helm, who could not be here tonight. This year we received 9 submissions and 3 finalists were invited to present here at the annual meeting. It is refreshing to see how OR is doing good. Earlier today, the finalists presented their work in a special session. After careful consideration, the judges have decided on a winner. I would like to start by welcoming to the stage the 3rd place winner, Karthik Balasubramanian from Harvard Business School. Now I'll announce the recipient of 2nd place, Madeline Odell from Stanford University. The suspense. Next, it is my pleasure to announce the 2017 winner. 1st place for this year's competition goes to Kan Jong from Georgia Tech. Congratulations and keep doing good with OR.
And now, presenting the 2017 Saul Gass Expository Writing Prize is Committee Chair Noah Gans.
Thank you. Before I get started, I would like to thank my other committee members, Kevin McCardle from UCLA and Stephen Boyd from Stanford. The Saul Gass Expository Writing Award recognizes an author whose publications set an exemplary standard of exposition. Their writing should possess an influence and accessibility enhanced by expository excellence. Criteria include lucidity, conciseness, and interest of the writing. The author must have affected how something's done, studied, or taught, or thought about. From a number of very, very strong nominations, I'm pleased to announce that the award for 2017 goes to Professor John Tsitsiklis of MIT. Professor Tsitsiklis has made fundamental contributions to optimization, dynamic programming, decentralized control of systems, and statistical learning. The influence of research, such as his 1993 work on decentralized detection and his 1994 paper, Efficient Algorithms for Globally Optimal Trajectories, reflect the clarity of his thinking as expressed in writing. The excellence of Professor Tsitsiklis' writing extends to the pedagogical, the lucidity and elegance of textbooks such as Introduction to Probability with Dimitri Bertsikis and Introduction to Linear Optimization with Dimitris Bertsimis have helped a generation of students develop their intuition for underlying concepts in probability theory and in optimization. While it can be difficult, and should be difficult, to distinguish good writing from clear thinking, Professor Tsitsiklis understands that excellence in technical writing as a craft is essential to the communication of important ideas. His note, "A few tips on writing papers with mathematical content," provides succinct yet highly valuable guidance to any researcher who seeks to communicate his or her ideas to a broad audience. Now I'd like to invite John Tsitsiklis to the stage to be honored.
Good evening. This occasion is a really big honor for me, especially as I look at the list of past awardees, which includes so many people that I admire. And of course, I have to thank at this point all my co-authors who have really contributed to my writing in many ways. So let me take the opportunity to say just a few words about the whole process of writing and how one gets there. One first big lesson that I've sort of drawn is that it helps to always feel insecure. Never take for granted that your reader automatically understands what you're trying to say. Never assume that they can decode your possibly unclear pronoun references or instantly reconstruct those supposedly obvious 4 lines of simple calculations that you are omitting. But another big lesson is to basically watch the masters. So my very first co-authored paper in graduate school was with Christos Papadimitriou, and from him I learned that one must strive to be crisp, generate a document that moves fast along the shortest path, develops the main insights through stimulating sentences, evocative statements, puns, and occasionally some gentle reader intimidation. But a big fraction of my writing was together with another master of the trade, Dimitri Bertsikas, to whom I have been immensely grateful. I learned from Dimitri that the single most important decision is what to include and what to omit. First, pin down 1 or 2 key concepts and results you want to convey, and then build them up through a simple story that moves methodically and linearly, and avoid the temptation to present every detail that you find interesting. Avoid the temptation to be encyclopedic. Just choreograph a ballet that multiplexes the big picture with the necessary details, and whenever possible, encapsulate everything in a nice and clean figure. Now, on the flip side, we all have a responsibility towards those who come after us. I wish there was a magic bullet here. One can always give to a student a couple of examples of well-written papers, then give them a document that spells out the rules of good writing, and then hope for a miracle. Well, unfortunately, it is a little more complicated. Working with co-authors, especially students, but not just students, you have to revise, rewrite, remove redundant sentences, reorder, linearize the presentation, keep asking why is this sentence here, why does sentence B follow from sentence A, and this can be a pretty exhausting affair that goes on for months, but it's worth it. At some point, you end up feeling a phase transition, and you finally have a document where the evocative picture I have in my mind is that of a canoe that goes very smoothly on a very calm river. And reading a document, you should be getting that feeling. And when you get there, it's immensely rewarding. Thank you.
And now, presenting the 2017 George B. Danzig Dissertation Award is Committee Chair Widad Almagrabi.
Good evening. First, I'd like to thank the committee for their time and effort in evaluating many outstanding submissions. I'll first announce the names of the finalists who finished with an honorable mention, and then the second place and the first place winners of the 2017 George B. Danzig Best Dissertation Award. Honorable mentions go to Mehdi Behrouzi, University of Minnesota. Alvaro Lorca, Georgia Tech. Rong Yuan, MIT. Second place goes to Ian Osban, Stanford University. And the winner of the 2017 George B. Danzig Award is Negin Gurrezai, University of Southern California.
And now, presenting the Philip McCord Morse Lectureship Award is 2017 committee member and past winner, Margaret Brando.
So it's my pleasure to be here presenting on behalf of the committee chair, Dr. Brenda Dietrich, who couldn't be here tonight. So this award honors Philip McCord Morse, who's widely considered to be the father of operations research in the United States. Among his accomplishments, he was known for having organized the Anti-Submarine Warfare Operations Research Group for the Navy in World War II. He also wrote with George Kimball a seminal book on methods of operations research. The lectureship is awarded for a 2-year term and comes with a travel stipend as well as a copy of Morse's book, In the Beginnings of Physicist's Life, and his book, Methods of Operations Research. Tonight, I'm honored to present this award to Dr. Eva Tardos, the Jacob Gould Sherman Professor of Computer Science at Cornell University and Associate Dean of the College of Computing and Information Science at Cornell. Professor Tardos is a distinguished scholar whose work focuses on the design and analysis of efficient methods for combinatorial optimization problems on graphs and networks. She has worked on a broad range of problems, all related to algorithms and algorithmic game theory. For example, she has worked on simple auctions, network games, social networks, network design, mechanism design, and classification problems, to name just a few of the many areas where she has made significant research contributions. Her most recent work focuses on algorithms, algorithmic game theory, an emerging new area of designing systems and algorithms for selfish users. Professor Tardos has won numerous prizes for her research, including the Fulkerson Prize in 1988 from the Mathematical Optimization Society and the American Mathematical Society, the George B. Danzig Prize in 2006 from Informs, the Gödel Prize in 2012 from the European Association for Theoretical Computer Science and the Association for Computing Machinery, and the EATCS Award in 2017 from the European Association for Theoretical Computer Science. She is an Informs Fellow, a Fellow of the ACM, and a Fellow of the American Mathematical Society. She is also a member of the National Academy of Engineering and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. So quite simply, she is amazing. Unfortunately, Professor Tardos could not be here tonight. However, she sent us a brief video acceptance.
It's a great honor to be selected for the Morse Lecture. I would like to thank the committee for selecting me. I'm really sorry I couldn't be at Informs this year and talk to you all in person. And I'm very much looking forward to being there next year, delivering the lecture and catching up with so many of you in person. Thank you very much.
And now presenting the 2017 George E. Nicholson Student Paper Competition Prize is Committee Co-Chair Hariya Ihan.
Good evening. The George E. Nicholson Jr. Memorial Award was established in memory of Professor George E. Nicholson Jr. Though Professor Nicholson was an academician, his interests ranged far beyond research, and he was deeply involved with the concerns of students. The George Nicholson Student Paper Competition is held each year to identify and honor outstanding student papers in the field of operations research and the management sciences. The criteria used by the award committee include originality, technical depth and correctness, novelty, breadth, and expected impact and exposition. This year, we had many high-quality submissions, a record 94 of them. We want to thank our numerous committee members for their careful reviews, thoughtful feedback, and commitment of time. It's no easy task to review that many papers, and they did a fantastic job of it. Their names appear on the screen. After much deliberation, the committee selected 8 finalists. We will first announce the 5 students who finished this competition as finalists, and then honorable mention, second and third place winners. The finalists are G. Chen, National University of Singapore. Daniel Freund, Cornell University. Will Ma, MIT. Erhun Özkan, University of Southern California. Zheng Yuan Zhu, Stanford University. It now gives me great pleasure to announce the prize winners, starting with the honorable mention, which goes to Wei-Jun Shea, Georgia Institute of Technology. Second place is awarded to Bradley Sturt, MIT. Finally, the first place winner is Andrew Lee, MIT. Congratulations to all finalists.
And now, presenting the 2017 John von Neumann Theory Prize is Committee Chair Avishai Mandelbaum.
On behalf of the committee, it is my great pleasure to present the von Neumann Theory Prize to two highly deserving recipients, Donald Goldfarb and Jorge Nocedal. The award recognizes the seminal contributions that Donald Goldfarb and Jorge Nocedal have made to the theory and applications of nonlinear optimization over the past several decades. These contributions cover a full range of topics, going from modeling to mathematical analysis to breakthroughs in scientific computing. Their work on the variable metric method, BFGS and LBFGS, respectively, has been extremely influential. Goldfarb's deep research contributions tie together the theoretical and the very practical in traditional linear and nonlinear programming, interior point methods, and the newly in vogue methods developed for signal processing and machine learning. And doing all that through a unique understanding of the fundamental issues in each and all of these areas. His contributions to the field are exceptionally broad, very influential, and long-lasting, beginning with the famous Broyden-Fletcher-Goldfarb-Shano BFGS algorithm for nonlinear optimizations in the 60s, then the revolutionary steepest edge simplex method for linear programming in the 80s, and in the last decade, first-order methods for large-scale convex optimization. The primal and dual steepest edge simplex algorithm devised by Goldfarb, Reed, and Forrest, respectively, are the most widely used variants of the simplex method. Goldfarb's work provides a theoretical foundation for many variants of this method implemented in most state-of-the-art commercial linear programming solvers. The Goldfarb-Idnani dual active set method for quadratic programming, QP, is one of the most widely used QP methods. One should also add that Goldfarb has a knack for exciting both talented PhD students and collaborators to work on important research problems that he identified. Nocedal made seminal contributions to the area of unconstrained and constrained nonlinear optimization that have fundamentally reshaped this field. This includes the development of the LBFGS methods, extending interior point methods to non-convex constraints optimization, co-authoring a highly influential book in nonlinear optimization, and recently illuminating the interface between optimization and machine learning via efficient and effective second-order methods. In the 80s, Nocedal invented the LBFGS optimization algorithm, the limited memory version of the BFGS. This opened the door to solving vastly larger unconstrained and box-constrained nonlinear optimization problems than previously possible. Nocedal's LBFGS algorithm requires storage that is only a small multiple of the number of variables, whereas the original BFGS method required a quadratic amount of storage. The LBFGS algorithm has had an immense practical impact, which is difficult to overstate. Nocedal was also instrumental in extending the interior point revolution beyond convex optimization. In the late 90s, he and his collaborators proposed the first theoretically sound algorithm for nonlinear and non-convex optimization problems. This algorithm was practical and, importantly, did not rely on strong assumptions. It should also be added that all throughout his career, Nocedal has been outstanding in mentoring both students and junior colleagues. For their fundamental contributions, theoretical and practical, that have and continue to have a significant impact on the field of optimization, Donald Goldfarb and Jorge Nocedal are being awarded the John von Neumann Theory Prize of Informs. I'm very pleased to first present the award to Donald Goldfarb.
Thank you. I'm honored to have been selected as a recipient of the 2017 Informs John von Neumann Theory Prize, and I'm extremely pleased to share this award with my optimization colleague and dear friend, Jorge Nocedal. I was totally surprised when I was informed by the prize committee that I had been selected, as I had no idea I had even been nominated. I want to express my thanks to the anonymous operations researchers who nominated me or supported my nomination, and the prize committee members, Avi Mandelbaum, Sunil Kumar, and Gerard Cornajols. I also want to state how very humbled I am when I consider the luminaries in the field of operations research who have been awarded this prize in the past. When I look back at my career, there were many individuals that were important to my success as a researcher and as an optimizer. I am forever grateful to Solomon Lefschitz, whom I came to know while I was taking a course in Lyapunov stability at Princeton with him, where I was pursuing a PhD in chemical engineering. He suggested that I pursue a postdoc in applied mathematics, and his support was crucial in my being offered postdocs at Courant and Harvard. I chose to take the postdoc offered by Peter Lax at Courant. Actually, I accepted that because my future wife was moving to New York and not to Boston. Based on my PhD thesis, which extended quasi-Newton methods to linearly constrained optimization. There's my wife. No. It is, actually. How did she know? I don't know. I'm still following her, and it was a very good decision following her to New York. And so she's the main reason I'm getting this award. Oh, there, she's not giving up. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'll get to her later. Around this time, I also first met Michael Powell and Philip Wolff, both of whom had tremendous impact on my career as both role models and supporters. In the early part of my career, I basically worked alone. Of my first 15 published papers, only one was based on joint research with anyone else. In July of 1982, I moved from the City College of New York, where I had been a founding member of the Computer Science Department, to Columbia University and the IEOR department, where my academic life changed dramatically for the better. Most important was the fact that the IOR department at Columbia attracted superb doctoral students. Starting from my very first student at Columbia, Sanjay Mehrotra, I have had the extraordinarily good fortune of mentoring over 20 superb PhD students. They deserve much of the credit for the research that I am being honored for today, and I want to express my sincerest gratitude to them. Thank you.
And now I present the award to Jorge Nosodal.
I'm deeply honored to accept this award and share it with my mentor and friend of so many years, Don Goldfarb. What a moment. Research can be done in so many different ways. For me, it has been a collaborative experience where ideas come through brainstorming. And none of those integrations proved as crucial as my long-time exploration with my friend and colleague, Richard Byrd. We have spent so many hours working on ideas together. Recently, I heard a colleague tell a junior faculty member, it's not just how good you are at climbing ladders, it's where you place the ladder. Richard and I have spent, it seems, endless amount of time debating where to place that ladder. I could not have achieved nearly as much without Richard's brilliant insights and world-class mathematical skills. Standing here with Don Goldfarb is particularly moving as Don greatly impacted my professional life and that of so many others. One example, Dawn gave me the opportunity to present some theoretical results in quasi-Newton methods in the form of a plenary talk at a SCIAN meeting. Plenary talk? I had hardly been invited to give any lectures at all at that time. And that experience proved to be decisive as it connected me with Mike Powell, whose vision of nonlinear optimization guides my research to this day. And this vision, algorithmic innovation, comes through numerical experimentation and mathematical analysis. The right balance is not for us to decide, but is driven by the topic. It has its roots in the numerical analysis school of Wilkinson as much as in the optimization school of Danzig and its generation. Research can be done in so many different ways. I've always admired the theoreticians, the model builders, and the software developers, and I hope that this community continues to support them all. Falling down from ladders can happen in so many different ways. You young people should be prepared, and I'm eager to see where you will place that ladder. My heartfelt thanks to Michael Overton, Steve Wright, Nick Gould, Zhongxi Pang, and my wonderful Northwestern colleagues and students. By far, my greatest fortune has been my super fun family, Sue, Isabel, Martin, and my 3 siblings. Thanks to all.
And now, presenting the 2017 George E. Kimball Medal is Committee Chair Rena Schnur.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank my partners in the committee, Terry Harrison and Robinson. I'm pleased to be presenting the Kimball Medals, which award distinguished service to the Institute and the profession of operations research and management science. And when I read the citation, you will see how very distinguished these are. This year, we have 2 recipients who will be called in alphabetical order, and they are Fred Hillier and Russell Abe. First, I'd like to present the award to Fred Hillier. Frederick Hillier is Professor Emeritus of Operations Research in Stanford University. He spent his career on the Stanford faculty after obtaining undergrad and grad degrees there. His research has extended into various areas, including integer programming, statistical quality control, operations management, queuing theory, and risk analysis for capital budgeting. 2 of his 6 books are in the latter 2 areas. Fred is especially known for his classic award-winning textbook, Introduction to Operations Research, co-authored with the late Gerald Lieberman. It was first published in 1967, exactly 50 years ago, and is now in its 10th edition with plans for an 11th. The book has been used by hundreds of thousands of students worldwide, including through translation into multiple languages. The book has received much credit for both raising the visibility of our field and attracting numerous individuals to enter the field. And as a sidebar, I can tell you that as my first job as a manager of operations research, I was asked to teach the developers and analysts a course, and so I used the Hillier-Lieberman book to get them excited. Its 6th edition was awarded honorable mention of the 1995 Informs Lancaster Prize, and Fred received the 2004 Informs Expository Writing Award for its 8th edition. Fred is also the co-author of another popular textbook, Introduction to Management Science, a modeling and case studies approach with spreadsheet, co-authored with his son, Mark Hillier. First published in 1999, its 6th edition will appear in January 2018. The book has received a substantial international audience, including through translation to 4 other languages. Fred has further enriched the literature of our field by being the founding series editor of the book series, the International Series in Operations Research and Management Science, that he started in 1993 and developed into an exceptionally prominent Springer book series. When Fred retired from the series in 2013, on the 20th anniversary of its founding, 200 books that he brought into the series had been published, with several dozen more under contract to further publication. Since becoming a member of ORSA and TIMSS in 1960, Fred has taken on many leadership roles in Informs and this predecessor society. He has served as the ORSA treasurer, the TIMSS vice president of meeting, and the co-general chair of the TIMSS International Meeting. He also has been the chairman of the following committees: the TIMSS Publication Committee, the ORSA Search Committee for Editors in Operations Research, the ORSA Resource Planning Committee, the ORSA TIMSS Combined Meeting Committee, and the Inform Selection Committee for the John von Neumann Theory Prize. Fred was elected an Informs Fellow in 2004. For this tremendous contribution and his distinguished service to Informs, the Institute of Operations Research and Management Science expresses its sincere appreciation to Fred Hillier by awarding him the 2017 George Kimball Medal.
I would like to dedicate this award to Jerry Lieberman. When I arrived at Stanford as a freshman, I had the great good fortune that Jerry was randomly assigned to me as my freshman advisor. He took me under his wing and continued to be my advisor throughout both my undergraduate years and my graduate years. He then persuaded me to enter an academic career and to remain at Stanford. Less than 9 years after my arrival as a freshman, we had begun writing our Introduction to Operations Research textbook. It then was published in 1967. So we are now celebrating its 50th anniversary. Thank you. I never envisioned that it would have such an impact on our field, introducing many hundreds of thousands of students to our field around the world, including through translations into approximately 20 other languages, and that it would continue going so strongly over 10 editions on 50 years. Thank you, Jerry. Incidentally, Jerry was awarded the Kimball Medal in 1996, so I am honored to be able to follow in his footsteps in this way as well. However, we very sadly lost Jerry in 1999, but I resolved to continue preparing new editions that maintained our high standards for our book. I soon will be starting to develop the 11th edition after the 6th edition of the Hillier Introduction to Management Science textbook is published in January. On another note, I feel so fortunate about being in such an exciting field that fits my few skills so well. Operations research has had a tremendous impact on improving the productivity of numerous organizations and social systems around the world. And now the analytics revolution is moving our field into a golden era. Informs and previously ORSA and TIMSS played a key role in all of this. I had the pleasure of occasionally serving in leadership roles in these organizations, and I continue to be very impressed with the key role that Informs plays in moving our field forward. Finally, I feel humbled and grateful for this award, especially since I view it as somewhat of something of a Lifetime Achievement Award, especially for someone like me who has had such a long lifetime. And so 2 thank yous. First, thank you again to Jerry Lieberman. I would never have been here without you. And second, to the selection committee, thank you very much for this special honor.
Next, I'd like to present the award to Russell Leib. Russell Leib has been a practitioner of operations research for 38 years. He started his career working for 8 years at RCA Operations Research Group and spent the following 28 years at Merrill Lynch, where he helped establish the first management science group on Wall Street in 1986. Russ was director of the group for 10 years and retired in 2015 from Bank of America as the director of Merrill Lynch Analytics and Modeling, leading a group of 5 departments and 50 analysts. In his retirement, he established his own consulting firm, RPL Analytics Consulting. Russ received his BA in mathematics from Lebanon Valley College and his Master of Engineering in Operations Research from Cornell University. During his career, Russ focused on applying operations research and analytics methodology to the industry problem in the areas of production pricing, liquidity risk, revenue forecasting, client attrition, product propensity, investment asset allocation, marketing effectiveness, and sales force compensation. Project completed by the Merrill Lynch team provided document benefits of over $100 million annually in revenue enhancements and in cost reduction. During his tenure, Russ helped Merrill Lynch with 3 major Informs practice prizes: the Informs Prize in 1997, the Edelman Prize in 2001, and the Wagner Prize in 2004. He was co-author of several articles published in Interfaces and the Journal of Product Innovation Management. Russ has been a member of Informs and its predecessor teams since 1981. He served on the Informs board for 2 years as VP of Practice. He was elected Informs Fellow in 2014. He was heavily active in the practice section, formerly CPMS, where he served as the chair for 4 years, a council member for over 25 years, still does. He was the Merrill Lynch company representative on the Roundtable for 12 years and served as secretary of the Roundtable Executive Committee for 4 years. Russ chaired the Edelman Prize Committee for 2 years and served as a coach and a judge numerous times. He also served as a judge for the Informs Prize, the Wagner Prize, and the UPS Prize. He served as the chair of the Edelman Gala Committee for 2 years, and he was a member of the Investment Committee for 8 years. So we now know why Informs has been doing so well financially. For his many contributions to the field of operations research and for his distinguished service to Informs, the Institute of Operations Research and Management Science expresses its sincere appreciation to Russell Leib by awarding him the 2017 George Kimball Medal.
Thank you so much. When Rena called me a few weeks ago to tell me that I would be receiving the Kimball Medal, my first reaction was surprise. I was surprised because I don't consider myself in the same company as the distinguished past winners. However, I am happy to report I recovered, and I'm delighted to be here tonight to accept it. I would not be here without the support and advice of many friends throughout my career. So I want to take this opportunity to thank those who had a profound influence on my career and my life. First, I want to thank my parents for their love and support. Although they did not have the opportunity to go to college themselves, they encouraged me and sacrificed much to give me that chance. I'm sure they're looking down tonight proudly. I had two college professors, Brian Hersey and Jörg Meyer, who encouraged my interest in operations research. They advised me to consider graduate school if I was going to pursue OR. I had never given graduate school much thought, but I decided this was the right next step. I had several graduate school professors who strongly shaped my thinking about the practice of operations research: Bill Maxwell, Lee Schreiber, and Jack Muckstadt. They, along with the total Cornell Master of Engineering experience, did a fantastic job of preparing me to be an effective and productive OR modeler from my first day at work. During my career, I worked with two men, Newt Garber and Raj Nigam, who were mentors to me on a daily basis for many years, both at RCA and Merrill Lynch. They taught me much about the keys to being a successful OR practitioner and leader. I continued to apply those learnings throughout my career. I was lucky to have a superb group of analysts who were part of our team and who I learned from every day. And I developed friendships with many colleagues here at Informs. It was insightful to discuss workplace challenges with them and compare experiences across different industries and companies. I wish I had the time to name all these friends tonight. I want to thank my wife, Karen, and my son, Kevin, for their love and support. There were many times they put up with me burning the midnight oil to meet a project deadline. I thank them for their patience and understanding. Lastly, thanks to Informs and the Awards Committee for this recognition. I accept with great happiness, surprise, and humility. Thank you very much.
And now, presenting the Informs President's Award is 2017 Informs President Brian Denton.
Okay, I'm back again. I said your hands were going to hurt, and I suspect they do. We're getting close to the end here. We have a really important prize that we're going to be awarding, and this is really one of the best things that Informs presidents get to do. Okay, they get to decide who receives the President's Award. And the purpose of the President's Award is to recognize and to encourage important contributions to the welfare of society. So along with former Informs presidents Ed Kaplan and Robin Keller, who are on the committee, I'm delighted to present the 2017 Informs President's Award to Dave Hunt. So please join me in congratulating Dave. So one of the second best parts is that you get to embarrass one of your friends as part of this. Yeah, so I'm going to read the citation that appears on the plaque that Dave's going to receive. So Dave Hunt is a manager at Oliver Wyman who's had a 30-plus year implementing operations research solutions in the transportation industry for clients in 6 continents. So you couldn't get Antarctica, I guess. Okay. That's understandable. Okay, so Dave has led public policy efforts in the transportation industry. He's written a number of white papers filed with the U.S. Department of Transportation that have helped shape federal transportation regulations, including the first ever nationwide rail capacity study. His current work involves predictive models to improve transportation safety and reliability around the nation. and around the world. He began his Inform's involvement in the early 1990s when he served as president of the New Jersey chapter of Informs. From there, he became the president of the Rail Application Section, and then the chair of the Inform Subdivision Council, and finally, a vice president on the Inform's Board of Directors. And Dave led a number of important efforts, and I'm going to mention two of them. One is the Inform's Ethics Guidelines that were developed in 2016, the first set of guidelines for our members and for our field. And another very important effort that Dave led was the creation of the Pro Bono Analytics Strategic Initiative. If you don't know what this is, it's sort of like Doctors Without Borders, okay? And I encourage you to check it out. It's an incredible new initiative. So what Pro Bono Analytics does is it provides service to support nonprofit organizations in need of analytics help. And at last count, there were over 500 volunteers signed up that are offering their analytic skills to a wide variety of projects for nonprofit organizations working in underserved areas and for underserved populations. So, on behalf of Informs, I'm proud to present Dave with the Informs President's Award to recognize his career achievements that have had a positive societal impact on public policy in the transportation sector, and for his extraordinary work with Informs, including the creation of the new Pro Bono Analytics Service. So it's an honor to present the award to you, Dave, and please join me in congratulating Dave.
I'm deeply honored to receive the Informs President's Award, and I'm very appreciative that Brian, Robin, and Ed believe the work I've done is worth this distinction. Awards given to individuals, however, are never really about the work of just one person. Anything I have accomplished has been the product of collaboration with my co-workers at Oliver Wyman and prior companies, and with my colleagues at Informs. I'm fortunate and grateful to have worked with so many talented people. I would not be receiving this award without their support. Instead of trying to thank people by name, though, I'd like to briefly talk about the Pro Bono Analytics Program and the concept of doing the most good you can do, a phrase I borrowed from the title of a book by philosopher Peter Singer. Many of us donate money to charities and volunteer our time to help others. These contributions are important, so please keep doing them. But have you thought about how you can do the most good you can do? This should be easy for us. It's how our brains are wired. To make it clearer, the objective is to maximize our positive impact, and the constraints are the time and budget we have available to help. And that is what Pro Bono Analytics is all about. Pro Bono Analytics creates a platform for the operations research and analytics community to assist smaller nonprofit organizations in better leveraging both their funding and their volunteers. From our perspective, applying analytical skills may seem simple, but I assure you it is no easy task for most of the organizations with whom we have worked. Helping nonprofits better stretch their resources, even if by a small percentage, can make a big difference in terms of maximizing the benefits those nonprofits are able to provide. So I challenge you to ask yourself, how can you do the most good you can do? How can you maximize your positive impact? Perhaps it is by signing up for Pro Bono Analytics. Perhaps it is by telling nonprofits about Pro Bono Analytics, since we are always looking for new projects. Or perhaps the best solution for you is something entirely different. But if we each try to do the most good we can do, then collectively the Informs community can continue to have a tremendous positive impact on society. Brian, Robin, and Ed, thank you again for this honor.
Okay, well, we're almost at the end here, folks. We have one last very important set of awards to mention. Tomorrow, Informs will induct the 2017 recipients of the Informs Fellow Award. Although the official ceremony is going to take place tomorrow, I want to share the names of this year's new class of fellows. So, congratulations to our new fellows. And on this very happy note, I want to thank you all for celebrating with us tonight as we pay tribute to these outstanding contributors to our field. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great evening and enjoy the rest of the conference. Good night.